So, man, 10 years here on YouTube as of today, making disc golf content. 10 years, wow. I've noticed this, I think, what was that? Sometime in the spring, I was on Smashbox podcast, which is one of my favorite disc golf podcasts, pretty much easily my favorite disc golf podcast. I've been part of the community on Smashbox for a while. I make videos for them, like just, miniature disc reviews and stuff, and I was a guest on the show over the spring, and it came up in conversation then. Terry went and looked at it, and my channel was started in November of 2010. Once I realized that, I was like, man, I'm coming up on a 10-year anniversary. That's pretty cool. I put it on my calendar, and I've been kind of thinking about it. And today's the day. 10 years of making YouTube disc golf content. Now, in the early days, it was dreadful. And, of course, the technology had somewhat to do with that. I was using like a digital still camera for a while that had this horrible whirring sound. You could hear the hard drive on the internal microphone, which was just awful. Some of those videos are still out there because they have view counts on them, so I kind of leave them alone in almost like a nostalgic kind of way. I moved on to, I think, like a Sony Bloggy, which was a hilarious little device that had like a flip-out USB thing. I think I could film all of 12 minutes of footage on that thing before it was full. So I would use that, and there's no way to expand the memory, by the way, so that was it. I had 12 minutes to work with. In those days I did no editing. I had no software to do editing, so it was all one take. I would just sit there and just ramble it out in one shot, and hopefully it went smooth enough that I can post it, essentially is how it worked. I began with an in-the-bag video, which was one of the few types of disc golf media that was out at the time. And after that, I started trying to make a couple of videos here and there explaining concepts that I did not know when I started, like the difference between understable and overstable discs, basics on playing the wind, basic disc selection, all that kind of stuff that nobody was really teaching or talking about in those days. I started making some of that content just because I figured I could help people and just put the information out there, because it really wasn't terribly readily available in those days. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to go through some of the ways that disc golf has changed in the 10 years since I started this channel. But before we go any further, I also want to make a quick announcement for you guys to let you know that there is new Disc Golf Nerd merch available right now on Teespring. Teespring is a platform that a lot of YouTubers use, and I will be taking advantage of that. You can go in the description right now and check it out. I have two different designs to start the ball rolling. I have not gotten my sample yet of the first design, which is a blue logo, very similar to my end screen, which is a picture of me throwing out at Buxton Woods that I put some effects on and stuff to use for various purposes here as my end screen and different things like that. I thought it made a pretty cool looking shirt, so I threw that out there. You have a hoodie, long sleeve, and a regular t-shirt on there. I also did kind of a classic, just lettering Disc Golf Nerd shirt that is available on there as well. Those shirts and products are available to purchase right now. Check the link in the description if you're interested, or you can wait until I get my sample to see what it looks like in person. I'll be sure to post a video and show it off on Instagram and stuff as soon as that happens. But I wanted to get it out there in case perhaps anybody wanted to order it for this holiday season. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about some things that have changed in the 10 years since I started this channel. I have a little note here. Okay, so no Jomez at all. No Central Coast Disc Golf. No World Tour, which some of you newer players might not even remember the World Tour. It's come and gone already. No Disc Golf Pro Tour. That didn't exist either. And there was no U-Disc. So there's no Circle 1, Circle 2. There was no stat tracking. None of that stuff existed in those days. Also, in 2010, Paul Mccabe had no World Championships. Paige Pierce had no World Championships. I believe Paige was 19 at the time. Ricky, my favorite player, Ricky Wysocki, was 17 when I started this channel. Calvin was 13 and Eagle was 12. He wasn't even a teenager. Man. In 2010, the reigning world champion was Mccabe. Dynamic Discs, Mccabe. You guys are all familiar with EMAC. Shout out to him. And a number of major retailers, including Infinite Discs, did not yet exist at that time as well. So in 2010, the Fuse, which is a disc that I just recently discovered, but it's been around forever, that was released that year, along with the River, which is another classic disc at this point from Latitude lineup. This was before the PD2, the FD, the Havoc, which is around, feels like it's been around forever. The Fury was not out yet. The Nova was not released, nor the Mamba. A whole bunch of other stuff. Rock 3s weren't out. It's crazy how many discs didn't exist when I started this channel that are like so established now. MVP, I believe, only had one disc at the time I started the channel, and I had no idea who they were for a couple of years after that. Speaking of dynamic discs, they did not make discs yet. They were an apparel company, and they sponsored players like Nico and Paul Mccabe, and I think Paul Ulibarri in those days as well. And Eric Mccabe was a Discraft player when he won his World Championships. This is, again, before Dynamic Discs even had a disc line. Prodigy also did not exist yet. And then if you look at some of the PDGA stats, the most current number, the biggest number at that time as far as PDGA numbers, was 46453. And there was 15,000 active members. Right now there's 3.5 times more active members than that. As of 2019, there was 53,000 active members, and the highest PDGA number to date that I, as far as we could tell, was 152,796. So it's a huge difference. In 2010, according to the PDGA, there was 3,276 courses, and the best we could tell, current either this year or maybe even 2019, there was over 8,400 courses. So an enormous difference in the way that disc golf has changed and evolved over the years, and my little dinky channel here has been along for the ride that whole time. So I just wanted to throw that out there and just kind of celebrate a little bit, be proud of myself for sticking it out and sticking with disc golf and the channel and YouTube and all that stuff, and hopefully putting myself in a decent position to turn this into something more real in the next few years here, something that I can do more for a full-time basis, and more as something that is more legit, something that I can really make something out of, you know. And you guys coming along for the ride, having over 10,000 subscribers now is amazing. I have definitely some big ideas and some plans that we're going to try to implement into 2021, and hopefully to continue to grow this thing. So if you like what I do, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to support the channel, there's a number of different ways to do that. One, just the likes, the viewership, the subscriptions, all that stuff helps me for sure. And also, you can check me out on Patreon, patreon.com/discgolfnerd. You will be listed in the credits of all my videos as a member of the Disc Golf Nerd Patreon support team. I also have the merch I told you guys about earlier, and hopefully have some other exciting things to talk to you guys about in the near future. But I just wanted to make a quick video today and just reminisce a little bit about how much has changed in the years that I've been doing this channel, you know. In the early days of me going and spectating pro disc golf, there was no real coverage going on. I remember being at the Beaver State Fling the first year that Paul Mccabe won, which I believe was 2012, and I was filming it with an iPod that my friend had loaned me. Not an iPad, mind you, an iPod. And it was like holding it there, and I'm standing behind the tee-pad with like Paul Mccabe and Dave Feldberg and Nate Doss and Shoestrick and all the top players at that time, filming a national tour event from 5 feet behind the tee because I'm filming with this iPod. Like, that's where we were at. Try doing that now and see what happens on the national tour, on the pro tour. So it's pretty amazing to be a part of it for this long. And then, you know, when I talk to people like Scott Stokely, some of those really old school players that have seen it from almost from day one all the way up till now, that's really interesting and a great perspective to have. But 10 years is nothing to sneeze at, and that's just in the time I've been running the channel. I've been playing a little bit longer than that. So it's been really fun, and really this channel and your support, your viewership has been a large part of why I've stuck with the sport for as long as I have. And I really appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all your support. Looking to try to take this thing to the next level continually next year and beyond. we shall see. Wish me luck, and stay tuned to the channel and you'll find out for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Thanks to all the people that have supported me. Also by sponsoring content here on the channel, sending me plastic and bags and other disc golf equipment. It's been really helpful to help me grow this thing, and I won't forget it for sure. And until next time, I'll check you later. Cheers.